Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In case you're seeing my face for this first time, Princess Nessie. On this channel I talk about business, I talk about education, and I talk about my lifestyle. Then I do a bit of entertainment videos here and there. If you're watching me for the first time, this is who I am. Hello everyone, I'm just here to do a bit documentary. I just want to document this so that in the next 2 to 3 years when I watch it, I'm going to still leave that memory of what happened in my head. Okay, I really don't want to forget about everything that happened. I wanted to drag some organizations. I wanted to drag them prior to what happened, but in the second thought, I was like, maybe I should just come here and say everything, pour out my mind, then leave everything to God, because of course the dead is already dead. So what can I do? Whatever I try to do, except if God says the person is going to resurrect, whatever I try to do, I think that wouldn't make the person come back to life, except if God wants to bring the person back to life. So that's why I just said, okay, let me just forgo everything and let God be the judge here. But in the same vein, I wanted to make sure I document it. I say those things the way they happen, so that in the next 2 to 3 years when I come here and watch this video, I'll be able to still keep afresh all that happened. Okay, so what really happened? I think one fateful day like that, I got a call from my dad that he needed money for medication. He was having stomach ache and it was so severe. So I sent him some money and expected him to go to the hospital, like the hospital in town. So only for me to hear that he traveled back home to meet one of our family medical personnel, for treatment. And according to him, she gave him treatment and everything was fine at the moment, so he had to travel back to town. So a few weeks later he called me again and told me that the pain has started, that this time around is very, very severe, that he could not bear it. So I was like, I gave you money, why did you travel back home for treatment instead of going to town for treatment? He was like, that's where he felt, or that's where he, that's the place he felt he could get treatment properly. So I insisted on him going to the one in town and not to travel back home again, which he agreed to. So I sent him another money. Then he went to the Popular Federal Medical Center in my town. So when he got there, I think he said either the doctor was not on seat, so they had, and because of the delays and all that in getting card, waiting for a doctor because the queue was too long, he and my mom could not wait for the doctor, so they had to leave that day and making research. And people recommended one private hospital like that, which they went to. So getting to the hospital, the doctor, gave him some medication, put him on drip. He stayed there for some hours. So after taking the drip, they discharged him that he should go home. So he went home. And when he called me, I think my brother called me and told me that they discharged him. He has gone home. I was so angry. I was like, why would they discharge him in that condition, knowing that the pain was severe and all that? And according to him, he said the doctor took some samples and said they were going to run tests because they don't know what was causing the pain at the moment. So they just gave him drip and told him to go home. They were going to run tests, which was going to come out in some days or weeks. So I said, okay, no problem. So he went home, and while waiting for the test, because that test was supposed to last I think 1 week or 2 weeks, I can't really place the dates now, but I think it took long, either 1 week or 2 weeks. So while waiting, I think the pain came back again and it was so severe. Then my dad had to call me and he was like, no, he cannot bear the pain again. My mom called and was like, my dad is outside, in fact, outside the road, that in fact he's just helpless there and the pain is. So I had to send them back again to that Federal Medical Center, that they should go there and not to come back until everything is settled, because to me I thought it was just a normal stomach ache. So I told them to go back to the hospital, make sure the hospital admits you and start taking any medication, make sure they admit you and start proper medication, and make sure you're fine before you leave the hospital. So they went to the hospital, the Federal Medical Center, and luckily they were attended to that day and they were admitted, and they took their samples. They took their samples and said they were going to run tests, but according to them that their lab is on strike. Like, how will a lab that is one of the major departments in the hospital be on strike? Like, I don't get it. To me, I feel like that's where this hospital started getting it wrong, because someone who is in pain, in critical condition, that you're supposed to treat his case as an emergency, start every possible treatment you can give to him to make sure he recovers quickly. You start giving excuses, causing unnecessary delays, thereby elongating this or prolonging this illness or whatever that is causing the pain. So the point, I was so angry, but I couldn't do anything from this end. I couldn't do anything. Even all effort to get the doctor's contact and speak to him directly proved abortive. So I was like, okay, whatever they know they can do, they should just do. I think they admitted him that day and gave him drip upon drip. Why they keep wasting time, all in the name of their lab being on strike. So I think after 1 month, I think after 1 week, yes, the lab, came back from their strike and they had to give them the sample, and we had to wait for extra 1 week to get the result. Mind you, this man, they've not started giving him proper treatment. They're just giving him drip. So because they said they will not treat him properly until they've known what the cause of the stomach ache is all about. They won't start medication until they know what the stomach ache is all about. So that continued. They continued with the drip, giving him drip. After 1, 2, 3 weeks, the result came out and they said they could not find anything that was the cause of that stomach ache. They said, assuming it could be liver problem, it could be kidney problem, it could be this, because I think my dad started swelling up, and according to my mom, before one side of his stomach was swollen, then because of the delays, so many delays, because I was like, if one of the stomach is swollen, please can they just do operation and bring out whatever is the cause of that swollenness? And they were like, no, they're not going to operate it. It does not come to that we should just hold on for the test to come out. While waiting for test, my dad was complaining, he's in pains, everything was just becoming worse and worse. And finally, when the result came out, they said they didn't see anything. Now they said they were going to run another test for kidney to know if it was kidney problem and all that. They did tests for kidney, and we had to wait for another week or weeks again for this kidney test to come out. And finally, when it came out, they said they could not see anything, that it wasn't kidney problem. Then they said, assuming it could be cancer, it could be this, it could be that they were going to run another test. But this test they were going to run, that the hospital does not have the machine for it, and there's no other hospital in the entire Nigeria that can run it except one hospital in Abuja. And they were going to collect samples and send to Abuja and wait for 2 weeks for the result to come out. Mind you, this person is still in pains. He's still in pains, and he doesn't even know. You've not given us any positive answer to what is the cause of the pain. So I think they had to collect the specimen, sent it to Abuja, and while waiting for the test, my dad passed on. So he passed on. So now I am here to say this. The medical system in Nigeria, okay, let me not generalize it. The medical system in this part of the country, it's nothing to write home about. There is no seriousness, there is no caring spirit. When patients are brought to the hospital, there is no eagerness to make sure that you treat this person and let the person survive first before you start thinking about money and all that. I just say that the medical system here is more centered on how to make money. It's no longer becoming a caring center or survival center for patients. It's now becoming a money-making center for most medical personnel or organizations. I don't really know how to put it, but that is what I'm saying it as. I've wanted to drag these hospitals, because there are about 2 hospitals who are so nonchalant about my dad's health. I've wanted to drag these 2 hospitals, but at the end I was like, will dragging them bring him back to life? I don't really want anything that will cause more harm than good, because my dad is a very peaceful man, he's a very loving man, a very caring man, a man who don't even want to hear that something like this happened. He will be the first to run to people once he hears that they are sick or they have one condition or the other. Even if he doesn't have the finance to assist them, he would make sure he assists them in the best way he can. I feel like this hospital could have done better to prevent this man from passing away. One, from the first day he was brought to that hospital, a very, very rapt attention would have given to him if the test was run immediately, and all those tests, series of tests that they did in that so much time that they spent, if they had used 1 or 2 weeks to run those tests, I believe that they would have realized that the test could no longer be run here, and maybe by the time they are running the last test, which they sent to Abuja, it would have fallen in the second week, and once the result comes out, they will start whatever they want to do. But I feel that all these delays contributed to the so much pain, and he could not bear it, and he had to give up. But God knows the best. God knows the best. God knows the best. And I think during that period, I got news that the sickness seemed like poison, like someone who was poisoned and all that, because according to those who are familiar with poison, because I've never seen someone who was poisoned before, I've never seen both on the internet and wherever, I've never seen. According to those who have experience of that, they said the symptoms looked like that of someone who was poisoned. And I started wondering, who on earth would want to poison this man? Would someone just wake up and want to poison someone who is good, someone who is caring, someone who is loving, someone who thinks about others first before thinking about himself? Would someone want to do that? Would someone want to do that? Even when I told somebody about it, the person was like, poison in this age, in this generation. And I started wondering, would someone want to do that? And who is it that would want to do that to a harmless person? Why would you want to harm a harmless person? Well, I don't know who it is, and I don't care to know. But all I know is that judgment is waiting upon that person. That is all I know. There is no bad deed that goes unpunished. Just as every good will not pass by without being rewarded. There's no good deed that passes by without reward. So shall your evil not pass without punishment. You will receive your punishment in due course, and you will receive it in a very big way. I don't care who it is. I do not care who it is. But if it is true that that man died because of the poison someone gave to him, you will not go free. You are going to receive your own side of the coin. You're going to receive your own, and it's going to be in a very big way. It is going to be in a very big way. So that is why I decided to do this, just to document it and make sure that by the time I watch it in the next 2-3 years, I already know what happened so time. My dad was a very, very vibrant man, a very, very strong man. Even when in pains, in sickness, if you look at him, you could tell that this man is so vibrant, so agile. I've never known him to be a lazy type. I've never known him to be the sluggish type. Since I was born, I've never heard that my dad fell sick, apart from one time like that, and it didn't even take long. He was fine, he was okay. The only sickness I hear my dad talk about was headache, and once he takes his Alabuku or paracetamol, he is fine. Not until this one came, and because of the nonchalant attitude of the hospital and the seriousness of the hospital, the man could not make it. But that, I leave it to God to judge. So seeing this video here, you will know that this man, even in pains, even in this condition, he is a very vibrant man. He is a very vibrant man. He's a very, very vibrant man. So I just leave everything to God. I just leave it for him to judge. But I just want to let every medical personnel watching this, let money not be your priority before treating people. Let money not come first. Make sure you do everything within your reach to save life. Make sure, I am talking to myself as well, make sure you do everything within your reach to save life first. After life comes any other thing. Don't start thinking about money. How can you bring someone who is about to die, and the next thing you're talking about is how to go and get card, how to go and get this, and again the hospital. I've not even finished talking about the lab that was on strike. They do not have enough medicine. Why would you prescribe drugs you don't have? If you know you were going to prescribe this drug, why not make it available within those people's reach? I can count how many drugs that were prescribed for my dad that this hospital did not have. My mom, my brother had to start going to different pharmacies that were 10 to 20 to 100 kilometers away from the main hospital to go and start getting this drug. Some they will not get the exact brand, they'll get on a different brand. Some they will not even say at all, and they will have to leave it. They will have to leave it. And so I'm so pained inside of me. I am so pained because I'm having this feeling that if adequate attention had been given to him, at least he wouldn't have gone this early. He wouldn't have gone this early. But because of the unseriousness in that hospital, this had to happen. This had to happen. And I leave you all to God to judge. I leave you all to God to judge. My regrets, at the point I started regretting that, started saying to myself, if I had known that it was that serious, because I never knew it was so serious. I never knew it was that serious. If I had known it was that serious, I would have brought him down here in Lagos State, and try my best to get any hospital that will be serious with his health. Okay. I planned doing that, but when I wanted to do it, the hospital said they needed to run that last test, which was the one they sent to Abuja. So I was like, okay, let them be done with that test. Since they've done series of tests and they could not dictate what was wrong, okay, let me just give them the opportunity to run that one last test. After running that one last test and they still did not see anything, I was going to bring him down here to Lagos and maybe look for any of the hospitals around, whether it's Magadi or Lut or anywhere, just to make sure that he stays close to me. And this was what I wanted to do. Oh, I don't know why it had to happen so fast. I don't know why it had to happen so fast. I don't know. I've questioned God several times. I've questioned him. Why? My dad is, let's call him an evangelist. Aside him being the deacon in the church, he's an evangelist. He preaches to people. He goes to pray for the sick. He goes, oh, you would have shown mercy. I've watched a series of programs where miracles were performed and people were healed from chronic diseases. God, this is not a big one for you to do. Yes, you would have done this miracle so people will see, and they will also believe from my own family and extended family that yes, miracle still exists. Oh, I don't really know why it had to happen. I just leave everything to God. Let him be the judge here. Let him be the judge. And I pray that everything will work out successfully. The burial, everything will work out successfully. And I know my dad is seated in the right hand of the Father. I know he's seated up there in the right hand side of the Father, watching over us, his children, watching over his wife, watching over his children. I know he will not allow whoever it is that harmed him to come close to his children, his wife. I know he will not allow that to happen. I know God Almighty will not allow that to happen. Whoever it is, your days are numbered. Whoever it is you are, just know that your days are numbered. Yes, your days are numbered, and you're going to truly get your own side of the coin. You're going to get it in fullness. So I think this is all I have to say for now. During the burial procession, we'll also film that if I can. So that is it. I would like to hear, what do you think the hospital would have done when they did the first test, second test, third test? Nothing. What do you think they would have done? Even the other private hospital that we went to, so it's later that we discovered that the doctor who owns that hospital also works in that Federal Medical Center. And as a matter of fact, he came the day that my dad was admitted in the hospital. That first day that he was admitted, he came and he went to meet the other doctors and was telling them that my dad had come to his hospital and they did tests and nothing showed. Why would I feel that he wouldn't have told them that? Just allow them, let them, with their plain heart, with their plain mind, let them run their own test and know if they were going to see something or not. Why come and start? Are you trying to make us feel that your own hospital is how do I put it, is potent, because to you it may look somehow if we had come to your own hospital and you say you did not say anything, then did not come to this other hospital and they are saying something. You don't want to appear fake, or you don't want to appear impotent. What picture were you trying to create there, that you had to come into a matter and start telling them that they've come to your own hospital, that they did not see anything, blah blah blah, and the doctors had to come in their group and start discussing my dad's case, and at the end what they came to say, I think, that the doctor that owns the private hospital came to tell them, or some other doctor came to tell them that it seemed that they are going to still refer them back to that private hospital where they came from before. And I was like, I was not got into that. And I was like, I was not going to take it. If they said they were going to refer him back, I won't take it. So I don't know why it happened that way. I don't know. Yes, he may have said would have waited for the other test from the private hospital, or would have allowed that hospital to take care of the whole thing the second time. But my dad was in pains here. He was in pains. We could not wait for that long. So I had to tell them to go back to the FMC so that they can see if there is anything they can give to him, whether medication or whatever, that can subsidize that pain, that can reduce the pain. Okay, that was why we had to go to the FMC. But if not for the pain, he would have waited for the result to come out from the private hospital before any other decision is made. But the pain was so much that I had to tell them to go to the Federal Medical Center for treatment and all that. So at the end, it just happened like this. It just happened like this. I don't know why. I have no reason to why it happened like this, but God knows everything. He that sees in secret, He knows everything. He knows everything. He knows. He knows. And wherever the soul of my dad is now, may it rest in peace. 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 You died in pains. You died in pain, so much pains. Even while we spoke on phone each day, you kept on telling me that you were tired, and I kept telling you not to give up, kept telling you to be strong.